Welcome to Inspiration Inc. I have the man with me who has virtually single-handedly transformed the healthcare industry in India, but more than that, he has transformed lives. I have Dr. A Velumani with me from Thyrocare. Sir, thank you so much for joining us, and we are honored to have you on this show. Before we start the formal discussion, because you are a very good storyteller, so if you were to sum up your journey so far in the story form, what would that be? Would you call it a success story? Would you call it a rags to riches story? Would you call it a vision story? How would you describe your journey?
I think it's a story of guts, grits and glory. I'm a thrill monger. I was settling with what's available and look for something different, and leaving my government job and doing business has really surprised everyone. And then without that surprise, the story would have not been there. Taking risks, I keep telling people romance with risk. I think I did it powerfully, and I'm extremely happy that a boy from a small village could create a company that could get into National Stock Exchange, and it could be a listed company. Son of a landless farmer from a village, a Madrasi, and then sitting in Mumbai, and then not just serving a job, creating an enterprise.
It's a very inspiring story. And like you rightly said, the setting of your life, in the early stage of your life, had all the ingredients for somebody who would get under the pressure of the circumstances and just remain a normal employee. In fact, your first job in Gemini Capsules, that also didn't go down too well, because I think the company shut down after you joined.
4 years.
It's not very easy to recover from a setback like this at an early stage of your life. So what was going on in your mind when the company shut down and you were back on the drawing board?
See, I think the poverty, when it comes, there are two kinds of people. One who enjoys it, other who suffers. The ones who suffer would find very often situations where they can't come back. The one who enjoys, he enjoys poverty, he enjoys pains, he enjoys failures, he enjoys everything. I think there was no true stress. Life is too long. It's not a 100-meter dash, and it certainly knew some better tomorrow is there. So there wasn't truly, and I have never sat in distress a single day in last 60 years of life. There have been ups and downs, but I don't think that puts a man down.
What keeps driving you? What motivates you to? Because it's easier said than done not to get under the weight of the situation you are in. Often people get negative, they think negatively. What motivates you to stay away from?
I was fortunately poor. And the success in life is delta. Delta is equal to x2 minus x1. x2 is where you are today, x1 was where you were that day. And for me, x1 was 0. उससे खराब कुछ हो नहीं सकता. Nothing can be a negative or a downside for 0. So for me, anytime, I am down today, but still I am above 0. So that power of being nothing once in life makes you very powerful in subsequent stages of life. So कभी डरा ही नहीं है.
But did you ever, so was it planned? Is this how you wanted to?
No, I think I have been loudly telling my journey is, you can even call as accidental entrepreneur. And journey has been not planned at all. I think I have always looked at what happens. I have planned for 1 more year. I have not planned too long. I think, in fact, I tell people, don't freeze plans, don't freeze dreams, they will break. Keep it flexible. So coming to Mumbai was never known 6 months before I left. Leaving government job was not known to me 1 month before I left. Going for IPO was not known to me a couple of quarters before I went for it. So I think there was no true planning. Accept life when it comes as it comes, and do better out of it.
When you came to Bombay and joined BARC, after that I'm sure the life was more stable and you spent reasonable amount of time at BARC. After that, what prompted you to go ahead and start your own venture, and that too something which was in India not a very formalized sector, not a very known sector, and your approach was also slightly unconventional. So what inspired you to do that?
Oh, I think good job, good wife, good children, good salary, good amenities, all good. And somewhere in my mind I was feeling comfort zones are danger zones. Mind was talking. And also in government job, I knew the year and date of my retirement, and also how much will I get salary at that time and how much will I get pension. It was literally
Predictable.
living life after knowing date of death. So I thought, let me break it. And moreover, I haven't brought anything to Mumbai to lose and go. I came empty-handed. My wife was working in State Bank of India. I thought one salary is more than enough to run the family. So I risked. And I keep telling people, there are only two things. One is security, another is prosperity. And there is never a secured prosperity. You have to risk.
Right.
So then I took that risk. Now it so happened, my wife got angry that I took a decision to resign without asking her. She also didn't go for a job from that day. So this happens as a coincidence. And then my mind said, chalega, let us both try to do business. That was a bigger risk. Me leaving government job, my wife leaving bank job, together is known as highest risk taking. And then I think today I have a story only because we took that risk.
But Mumbai actually welcomed you. It actually turned out to be, I would say, a city of dreams for you, because a lot of people come to Mumbai, from various parts of the country, and not necessarily it turns out to be a pleasant move for all of them. But in your case, it turned out to be much more than pleasant. It became a life-changing move for you.
Yeah, and in that way, people come to Mumbai with two things. One with money, another with stamina. The guys who came with money cannot make money. The guys who have come to Mumbai with stamina can make tons of money. This city is a city of opportunities. Infinite opportunities are there. If somebody has stamina, they can build a great empire. I came with stamina.
Of course, you came with stamina, but somewhere there was method in the madness with which you were following your dream. So if you can tell us about those early days, when you left your job, when your wife left her job and you were just setting up the business, if you can tell us about that, because I'm sure there must be, though you are a positive person, but there must have been moments when you felt that, oh God, what am I doing? Why am I doing? And what have I got into?
Yeah, fortunate for me, the journey was with less jerks. I started the business with a 2 lakh rupees of provident fund. One thing is important in my life, personal life or in company, we never borrowed. Second thing is we didn't look for fancy HR. Me and my wife were the first 2 employees. Start moving on. Let us reach a first 100 samples. Mind you, those days the word entrepreneur was not known.
Exactly.
And then market cap, valuation, dilution, all words were not at all known. So we were coolly working on how to create 5 samples a day to 50 samples a day. Then once we received 50 a day, how to go to 500 a day. So 1 0 at a time, the customer happiness, satisfaction, these things all were in place. So it was a very smooth journey. But of course, I didn't know that I have to build a brand. The brand got built. Today you see before starting business, people build brands. Building brands, if you don't have a good business model, is less waste of money. So in my case, I focused on the customer. I could build a brand over a period of time.
So that's a nice way of explaining, because Thyrocare in itself is a very strong brand and it resonates in this industry. But so today, where we are in terms of, and I think more or less your expansion model has remained same. It is still a business which is driven by the payment which customer makes. But did you ever imagine the scale that you will operate at this scale, running more than 3,000 centers across the country, getting listed on the exchange? Did you ever think?
No, I think the journey has been a surprise to me also, because every year we found a growth, and then what next? Mumbai we did well, then went to Nasik, Pune and Surat, did very well. Then went to a couple of south major metros, it worked very well. Then all metros, then all state headquarters, then all district headquarters. Today we are in the verge of going to the taluk headquarters. So it's a journey where nothing is planned for too long. Every year you become more aggressive and business has grown. Fortunate for me, my industry was highly unorganized. Fortunate for me, pricing was a comfort for me. Everybody was pricing too high and I had a room to play. And fortunate for me, I priced it very low. And also fortunate for me that I created a franchisee concept first time in this industry and made sure that guy makes more money than what I make. I think this is the very important aspect. Why I got my network amplified very fast. Everybody got enough finished, so they never slept and I peacefully slept.
But today, I think the industry has also changed a lot, and you actually created a model in India. And of course, like you rightly said, that time we didn't have these fancy, glamorous words like startups and entrepreneurs and all, but you virtually started a new model for the industry which was so unorganized. Today, when you look back, what is your key takeaway? Do you feel satisfied that you started a new industry and it turned out to be a sort of inflection point for others to follow?
No, in that way, everybody is learning and every industry is also learning. The customers' needs, expectations, behavior makes you to keep on innovating your business model. Fortunate for me, I worked with clarity because I am not a medical man, I am a mathematics man. So I was scared of pathology. Biochemistry was a bit comfortable for me. So in that way, if I look back, my focus gave me success. In a 100 kilogram body, I focused on 15 gram gland. In fact, nowadays people recognize me as a man who has built a brand around a gland. So that way, so focused I was. I think focus, frugality, and then decision making, low pricing. These few points have given me power of great slope. I think others, my peers were doubting my business model because it was a very different model.
Yeah.
And then took 5 years for them to understand what exactly I am doing. And for them it became too late.
One side is obviously the employment that you created over a period of time and the new industry that you created. But somewhere, I think what is lost in that is that glory is the social change which you created in a country which was at that point not very high on the literacy scale, very high on the awareness scale, and thyroid was something which was not really known to a lot of people, and the difference or the damage that it can do to your health and to your life, you brought that somewhere in the center stage. Do you feel satisfied about that?
Yeah, the word Thyrocare for my brand name itself was seen as, not a wise thing. Many people told me, "Arey, you were focusing on a single gland, roti milega kya?" I just told them, India has got 1 billion thyroid, all billion is mine. To that extent, my focus on thyroid has been the biggest strength. Then you have a company called Thyrocare, so you look at the logo, look at the communication, it makes you to remember thyroid. So I was the first one to put a punch think thyroid, think Thyrocare.
Correct.
And then thyroid is 1.5% prevalent in the society.
So that's the social change.
Yeah,
that we are
it is not
referring to.
that thyroid incidence has gone up. It is the awareness which has gone up, and people talk that as thyroid. Otherwise, people did not know that it's thyroid related problem.
Absolutely. Also, so one part was that. Second is your business model itself allowed lot of people to actually pursue their own dreams. Today, when you have more than 3,000 centers, and practically we can say that actually you have created another set of 3,000 entrepreneurs who are following their own journey or dream in a small way, not on the scale at which you operate. How does it feel when so one is following your own dream, becoming big. Second is enabling that path for a lot of other people.
Yeah, I think I've been telling in my stories a punchline in Hindi. जो जीतता है शायद हार सकता है, लेकिन जो जिताता है वो कभी हारता नहीं है. So had I been managing everything by my own, probably I would have seen a couple of crores. I would have not reached to Punjab, Kerala and Odisha. Now I found a necessity, a local man connecting locally with the local culture to the local man would benefit my business. So I created a franchisee network and I gave him more. That brought more people and it created a huge network. So today if I look at around 10,000 people are indirectly employed through my network, and I'm very happy that this many number of people are having their bread using this two-color logo. That's a happiness for me.
Let me ask you about the listing part. So that is something which always turns out to be a big achievement for any company, and especially the first generation company, because there are so many companies in India who are into third, fourth or fifth generation and they have been listed on the exchanges. The amount of oversubscription that Thyrocare managed, and I mean, because I follow stock market closely, I remember the kind of discussion which was happening around the IPO would have been very encouraging for somebody like you, a first generation entrepreneur. What was your feeling when you listed? And
see, going for listing itself was unplanned. The company had never debt. Company had no outsider to wanted to go. So it was never in need of money. When you don't need money, you get more money. So that is the, even private equity cycle is.
correct.
So I got more value than what I wanted. I diluted. 5 years had gone. They wanted to go out. And for their expectation, no private equity guy was willing to buy their stock. Then I went for an IPO thinking that let us see, because for me going for IPO was, if I don't go for IPO, no one would know that I am running this company.
Behind every successful man, there is, I mean, apart from the saying that goes that there is a woman, but also there is an inspiration. There is a catalyst who puts that man on that path of not success, I would say, but path of achievement. So, what is your inspiration? What was your inspiration?
No, in that way, inspirations are overall given from parents, from siblings, then from spouse, then now children, everybody inspires. So that's overall contribution. But I must tell you, the power of my journey was because of my wife, who is unfortunately no more. And she gave up her job on the same day when I had given up my job. That was, according to her, a commitment for my success, which I feel very brave decision. And then she has been around me, and she is the power behind me in terms of connecting people with me, family with me, vendors with me, investors with me, employees with me, franchises with me. She was a very powerful connector. And she lived in the laboratory along with me, with forgetting the society, which says that for her my success is all in life. So in that way, I attribute a lot to her, where we both were dreaming one day, both will ring the bell together in the National Stock Exchange. She was there till we finished our DRHP. Subsequently, she vanished. And I was feeling very sad on that day when I was alone in ringing the bell. Today, in every corner, when I look at, I miss her, and her role in this journey is enormous. I think two ladies have contributed. One is my mother, who kept my intestine alive till I was 25, and then my wife made me MSc, made me PhD, made me scientist, made me entrepreneur, made me storyteller. So a lot of things goes for her as a credit. I think it was a Himalaya trek where we were only seeing another 500 meters, and she left my hand. So to that extent, I attribute a lot to her role. I think a message I want to communicate: if men succeeds, families prosper, and if women succeed, the societies prosper.
That's the wonderful message. Any message that you would like to give to the current generation? Because today, the ambitions are very high, the aspirations are very high, the exposure is so much that even somebody who's at the very bottom of a social strata is also aspiring to make it big. But sometimes they don't know the right path to success. Yeah.
Yeah, I have an advice to youth. It's good to dream big, but it's not good to start too early. According to me, people say, शादी के लिए एक उम्र होनी चाहिए. I have a reason to believe even for becoming an entrepreneur, you should have an age. Till you become 30, till you work under someone for 10 years, till you make someone else rich, how are you going to become rich? If you work under someone for 10 years, you learn on his cost.
Correct.
If you start beginning itself, you are learning your own cost and you are least likely to be successful. Those who started business before 30, the success rate is very, very low. So I always tell, don't burn father's money, make your own money, make your own story. You will have a story to tell, otherwise you will not truly be enjoying life. So I want youth to have first patience, work under someone for 10 years, build confidence, build knowledge, and then start the business and continue it. While doing business, very important are 4 words: focus. I think without focus, no one succeeds. Without focusing, you can't learn.
Correct.
First is focus, then learn, then grow, then enjoy. Don't change the order. Very often people started enjoying even before starting the business. I didn't buy a car till I reached 100 crore turnover. And after reaching even today's 3,000 crore market cap, I still not bought a house. So I think live for you, live for your organization, live for your people, be focused, be frugal.
One last question to you. I won't say what is that dream which gives you sleepless nights, but what is that one ambition which is now driving you, which is that now last 500 meter of the Mount Everest peak?
That only keeps awake. Not the money made, not the wealth made, but I think in life I have a punchline: height doesn't give pleasure, slope gives you pleasure. So keep the slope on.
Right. I think that's the most inspiring line that I've heard in quite some time. Thank you so much, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
It was more than interview. It was the story.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.